6 months of sweat, blood, and tears all comes down to one game to decide who wants it more in the quest for a championship. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nachum Segal Network's feature presentation of the 2016-2017 Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship presented by Manischewitz. Today's game features the stars of North Shore Hebrew Academy and the HAFTR Hawks. We are live coming to you from Lawrence Middle School on Long Island, where today one game will be played to determine the king of the junior high hockey world. For the two teams involved in today's game, championship games are a rare occurrence. Both teams have made one appearance prior to today. For HAFTR, that was 2012, where it won the championship, defeating Ashar in double overtime. For North Shore, it was the year prior, where it fell to HALB. For one of these two teams, the wait will have been worth it. Hello, everyone. I'm Elliot Weiselberg, head coach of the MYJHHL YCQ Wildcats. Joining me for the game is head coach Avidan Berman, also head coach of the YCQ Wildcats, and fellow analyst of the Junior High School League. Avidan, let's begin today's show.
So, Elliot, for all those who aren't, connected with the league, what is this league all about?
Well, the MYJHHL is the New York Junior High League. There are 10 teams comprised of schools in the Brooklyn, Long Island, and Queens areas, not to be associated with Hamish, the Jersey Junior High League. Now, Avidan, Purim just passed and Pesach is on the horizon, as our sponsor Manischewitz might bring you memories. So let's start off with a simple question. Manish Tuna ha-season hazeh mikol ha-seasons. What is the difference between this season and all the other seasons for the MYJHHL?
Well, this was a season where there wasn't one team that coming in that you knew was going to dominate the whole league, right? You came in there, nobody really knew how it was going to shake out. And then in the end, it ends up being teams that aren't necessarily always in the championship. Usually we have HALB, Hartora, Hank, those are, the most common championship guys. And now we have teams that haven't really been here. You have North Shore and HAFTR.
So, speaking of North Shore and HAFTR, let's talk about the two teams participating in today's contest, and we'll start off with the regular season champions, the North Shore Stars. Last year, North Shore went into the final game of the season needing a win to clinch a playoff berth, went into the third period against Hank, up before a disastrous period dropped them to a 4-5-1 record, finishing on the outside looking in. What strides has this team taken to erase that nightmare?
Well, North Shore's a mainly 8th grade team, right? So they coming in, they have a lot of experience. They have, and they have a lot of size. Now they've been top 3. They were top 3 in the league this year in scoring. They've been, I believe, the top team in the league in defense, and they've really flown through their schedule. They've played every single playoff team. They have played away from home. And they have gone out and won, and they're on the road to making a perfect season here.
So who have been the key players to North Shore's rise to dominance this year?
North Shore's rise to dominance has been, started with their captain Charles Gracious. He's been on this team since 5th grade, and he's scored at least 20 goals in each of the last 3 years. The second person to pay attention, Charles Gresh's number is number 79. The second guy you got to pay attention to is Charles Gresh's line mate, the Tyler Sagan to his Jamie Benn, number 18 Adam Goldman. He's a 20 goal scorer, and he's scored 20 goals this year. He has really held his own. He's fast. He has a great shot, and he really knows how to control the pace of the game.
So now let's look on the other side of the line. We have the HAFTR Hawks. Fans of the MYJHHL Varsity League will be familiar with the name, as the older boys have stood out on this stage for the last 3 years. Today, however, this is the lone HAFTR team. Last year, a semifinalist in the game against HALB, tied going into the third period. A fluke goal, the difference in a 1-0 defeat. This year, revenge with the Hawks beating HALB in the semis 3-1. What's led them to this point?
Well, HAFTR coming in has had a lot less experience. While they have a lot of 8th graders, not as many of these guys were really involved in their team last year. But coming in, the players who actually were involved last year have been the real leaders. You have Captain Ben Newmark, he's their starting defenseman, the captain, voted to the All-Star team. He's extremely quick. He's a great shot. He led the team in scoring with 19 goals this year, and he actually had a very, very nice game against HALB in the semis, where he came out and he was able to really just take over the game defensively and drive offense.
It's really surprising, given that he's a defenseman, making use of what he's got from the back line. We have two of them like that in both Greshus and Newmark.
Yeah, in their 3-1 game, he actually had 2 of their goals.
That's really impressive. So, Who else has been a key contributor for them?
Their other captain, Zach Gelman. He only scored 8 goals this year. Which, it's a good number, right around a goal a game. But his big contribution came with his intelligence and his aggressiveness. He's able to come in and he never fears the moment. He comes and he's able actually to set up his line mate, 6th grader Joey Cohen, number 67, for 18 goals this year. His line mate. So that line is very dominant, and it comes a lot from his ability to really control the game with his intelligence and aggressiveness.
So Gelman's been more of the setup man for Cohen's finishes along the game.
Absolutely, but you can't count him out. He averages about a goal a game.
Good to know. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll break down this morning's matchup. We'll have pregame introductions and the national anthem. You are watching the MYJHHL Junior High Championships on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz. We are back to the MYJHHL Junior High Championships on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz. Elliot Weiselberg and Avidan Berman taking you through to the pregame for today. Introductions will begin in about 5 minutes. So while that happens, let's talk about the matchup that we'll see today. The teams are both in their locker rooms after having warm-up. Last time these two teams played, North Shore scored the first 2 goals of the game in the first period before HAFTR came back, scored 2 of their own to tie the game at 2-2 at the end of 1. North Shore scored 2 goals to start the second period, and the teams would trade off from there. And a stunning effort by North Shore's Charles Gresh, who you mentioned earlier. 4 goals on the day, leading to a 6-4 North Shore victory, allowing them to take momentum into the last games in the season and into the playoffs. Now, I don't remember if we mentioned how the teams did in the playoffs. You mentioned how North Shore, getting a bye in the first round, steamrolled through Mag and David 8-1 after obviously taking the top seed from, as you said, scoring the most goals in the league this year and having one of the best defenses in the league. That being the case, let's talk about those two parts of it. Let's start out with the goalie matchup. Let's talk about this, what is an apparent disparity. Obviously, the goalies are not here, but let's talk about what everyone will see when the game starts.
Well, for North Shore, you have Mark Siegelman, right? He's a big goalie, and honestly, just going into this matchup real quick, I would compare it almost to the Los Angeles Kings goaltending situation, where they have Ben Bishop and Jonathan Quick. Mark Siegelman's like more of the Ben Bishop. He's big. He can take away the angle with his size and really cover a lot more of the net using size, while he's also athletic. Just being able to get in front of the shots. For HAFTR, you have Jordan Krupp. He's sixth grader, small but extremely quick. And he can get across the crease very quickly. He knows how to cover shots. Gets on rebounds real quick. He's a real good goalie also. So
Siegelman uses his size to get in front of shots and to keep the ball from the net, whereas Krupp has to rely on his agility and ability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the keys to today's game also, and in that we can discuss a bit about the court in front of us for those who have never been to Lawrence Middle School. Let's talk about the effect the court sort of has on this game.
Okay, so the way the court is shaped is you have two large brick walls in the back and then two smaller walls on for the sides.
As North Shore comes out to the court.
Yeah, so both teams are going to be looking to take a lot of shots. That's the general strategy. So they're going to, because of the back walls, so it has such great the ball comes off so fast from the back wall from the bricks.
Hard rebound.
It's a hard rebound, and the ball comes right back in front of the net, as we've seen in previous championship games here. There are a lot of goals scored off of rebounds from that back wall.
Just to that point, the year after my senior year, we're talking 2004, HAFTR Frisch, famous game-tying goal, hit off that back wall between the 3 and the 4, right to our right. Bounced right back, hit the Frisch goalie in the back, and went into the net. So that back wall is live for anybody who decides to shoot off it.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a big advantage for fast teams who could take advantage of it. Now on the sides, for both these teams, they have at least one large wall. For HAFTR, they have two large walls on the sides, which are used for clearing the ball out of the zone. Here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get the ball out of the zone using the walls because of how small they are.
If you can see as the camera pans across the court, directly in the middle of the floor, you can see two pads, and you can see a regress. But there's nothing above the regress, and anything over there, as Avidan just talked about, it's out of play. So HAFTR, as you said, which has two walls with nothing but just wall, and they use it to rebound. As HAFTR comes out on the floor, they use it to rebound. It's not going to be the same thing. The ball's out of play, and there'll be a face-off in the zone. On the other side of things, we need to talk about whether or not HAFTR can control North Shore's starting line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be their big challenge for the game is going to be able to hold down, Charles Gratius and Adam Goldman. They're the two main scorers for this North Shore team. They're quick and they really shoot from everywhere. They're going to be looking. They can really North Shore scorers can really score from pretty much anywhere on the court. They have really great shooters. So it's going to be about closing down on shooters, keeping them away from their forehands for HAFTR.
As we await the pregame introductions, you see HAFTR right by its net. North Shore has gone back into the locker room because they are going to announce the introductions, the players for today's game. Referees for today's game: Shmuley Stern, Jason Schlessel. Two senior referees. Shmuley Stern did last year's game, and let's see. Any chance we can hear the pregame introductions, or is it not loud? As you can see on your screen, we have the Hawks roster. People down on the floor, mostly 8th grade teams. said, both schools really 8th grade heavy. Many of these kids on the team the last year. A couple of kids who weren't on the team last year played basketball, which we'll get to during our color format of the game. A couple of key players switching over to hockey from basketball, really making up this HAFTR team. Stars coming out. Haroon a little dab as he comes onto the floor. And now we're going to hear the starting lineups. Goalie Jordan Krupp, whom Avi Don mentioned a second ago. Teams have taken the floor, and we'll have the national anthem and HaTikva momentarily. Coaches come out. A little disparity in the coaching matchup, as we'll talk about once the game begins, between HAFTR coach John Glaubach and North Shore coach Shlomo Amslam. And we're all set here from Lawrence Middle School, the 20... So that's a minute and a half to Elliot Weiselberg for a false start to start this game. Let's try that one more time. We are ready to go here in Lawrence Middle School for the 2016-2017 Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League, Junior High Championship game. North Shore HAFTR, presented by Manischewitz on the Nachum Segal Network. We thank you for coming along this ride with us. This is the first hockey broadcast on the Nachum Segal Network, a live broadcast. We'll be going for 3 games today. We'll be starting out here with the junior high game, which will begin momentarily. After this, we'll have the JV game between TABC and Frisch. Big rivalry, want to tune in for that one. And then afterwards, the varsity game, which will be the 2 top teams in the varsity league, DRS and Frisch. But right now in front of us, HAFTR and North Shore, both teams preparing to their nets, getting ready to come out with their starting lineups. Everybody's clearing the floor. We told you, I mentioned the disparity in the coaching between the two. Talk about John Glaubach. John Glaubach is a 6-year veteran of the league. In his first year, he was here with the HAFTR Hawks in the in the junior high championship that we mentioned earlier. John's team, the HAFTR Hawks, won in double overtime in the second longest game in junior high history in the Metropolitan Junior High Hockey League. Obviously, last year with with what happened in Hamish, we can't claim it as the second longest in junior high history. But on the other side, Shlomo Amslam, his first year as a coach, taking his team to an undefeated record so far. Will that play a factor in today's game?
You know what? I think he's got his team ready. You know, you look at the way they handled the whole season. It looks like they've handled the pressure pretty well.
So we'll have Goldman facing off with Newmark. Newmark, defenseman, taking the face-off for the team. Guess they want to try to match up offense on defense right off the bat.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's an interesting strategy there. It allows him to really, if he ties him up off the face-off, he can kind of stick with Goldman right off the bat.
Gresh's lining up on this side, Silverman on the other side, sender back. We have Friedman on our side. We have... Action gets underway. HAFTR wins the ball, Newmark wins the ball into the zone. Sender backhands the ball out into the HAFTR side. Herskowitz drops back, playing with the behind, pressured by Goldman and Greshus, but gets the ball to about the midcourt line, where Oliner is fighting for it. Now 4 players bunch up. Squirts out, Friedman tries to clear it, can't. Ball gets to the midline anyhow. Glove down by Greshus. Greshus moves towards us, takes a shot wide of the net. Oliner not able to get the ball out. Sender keeps the ball in. Friedman coming around the net to our side. Pressured by Goldman. Manages to get it out, and it'll go down to the North Shore end for the first time today. Oliner tries to send the ball back to Newmark, into the corner, fighting with Greshus. Greshus gets it, clears the ball out. Friedman cannot keep it, and Friedman drops back, pressured by Goldman. Greshus in on it too. 2 men in on the ball for North Shore. Greshus comes away with the ball, plays it with his feet, tries to backhand it through. Herskowitz legs, does not get it. Ball rolling toward the front of the net, cleared away by Friedman. Friedman sends the ball to Newmark. Newmark tries to clear the ball, can't send it, keeps it in, sends it across court, where Herskowitz picks it up and sends the ball into the camera well across from us. So it'll be a face-off deep in the HAFTR zone.
Well, what we're noticing right off the bat here is when North Shore's in the offensive zone, HAFTR sending 3 players back to play defense and to keep 1 player at the point. This is a little bit dangerous, you know, leaving North Shore's point men open. They got some good shooters, so it's something to stay aware of.
Newmark on the face-off again with Goldman. Ball 1 back. HAFTR takes control. We have Gelman and Cohen on for the first time as the ball is fought for around the midline. North Shore's offense and defense both stay the same. Ball comes out of the zone. Sender drops back, tries to clear. Gelman gets it, tries to put a ball to the net, but it's blocked. Gresh is coming across the floor, fighting with Cohen. And now we have a bunch up of 5 players right below us. Precious, Gelman, and Sender fighting for Sender kicks the ball out of the zone. Newmark drops back, sends the ball out. Cohen comes through the middle. He's stopped by Silverman, but Gelman tries to get the ball between Sender's legs. Doesn't quite get there. Sender and Gelman fighting for the ball in the corner on the floor. And we'll have a whistle with 10:09 left in the first period.
They're really letting them play. This game's going to be it looks like it's going to be a solid physical matchup. You know, the two teams are willing to go at it in the corners.
Well, it's a championship. If you're not willing to go for it all today, there's really no other point to do it.
Absolutely.
Gelman and Sender lining up. Ball's put to the middle, and Cohen gets a shot on net. Cohen tries to come around the net, but it's blocked away by Silverman. Greshus holds the ball up, and it's stolen by Cohen, but Greshus gets it, send the ball out. The two ice hockey players, Greshus and Cohen. Ball sent up in the air, kept in by Sender with the hand, batted by HAFTR the other way. Gelman sends the ball out of the zone. Silverman dropping back for North Shore. 2 HAFTR players there. Gelman coming away with the ball, trying to send it to the front. Nobody home. Greshus picks it up, sends it on net. Ball come back the other way, hits Cohen, and we'll have an offsides deep.
So, Elliot, for those not familiar with the rules of hockey, what is offsides?
So offsides is all players must be on the defensive side of the floor before the ball crosses the offensive line. We'll get into a little more as the game goes on. You'll see exactly how that works. Silverman dumps the ball down into the zone after a North Shore win on the faceoff, but it's dumped right back in by Kurlander, and the ball will drop back out to North Shore. North Shore Greshus picks the ball, sends it to the net, and a save by Krupp. Krupp didn't know it was underneath him, and Krupp will drop down. Ball is loose right over here by us. Goldman tries to send it to the middle. Olener blocking that. Olener and Greshus fighting for it behind the net. 2 more players come in. Greshus tries to come around and curl it, doesn't get it. Cohen drops back and sends the ball out of the zone. Silverman for North Shore. We hit the 9-minute mark left in the first period. Silverman fighting against 2 HAFTR players. Greshus dropping down, sending the ball off the boards and out of the zone. Kurlander tries to clear it out. Cohen now sends it to the line, hits Greshus, and the ball is offsides. We see both teams trying to apply the 2-man pressure either behind the net or on the side of the net when the ball gets behind the line.
Yeah, they're doing that so they can take possession of the puck, and then they're trying to break out from around the net.
Going back to top line with Friedman now on offense. Zanger coming into the game for the first time for HAFTR. Ball gets dropped into his own. Hutt making his first appearance for North Shore. Hutt fighting with Zanger. Zanger comes with the ball, tries to send it to the middle. Sends it to Newmark. Newmark at the line, misses the net. Zanger tries to send the ball to the middle, and it's blocked. 2 HAFTR players, and Friedman takes a shot. Ball hits off the side of the net. Greshus now has the ball coming up the floor. Greshus on the left side turns, fires, and it hits the stanchions on the backboards, which are out of play.
We saw some good speed out of Greshus there. Good awareness to go and take the open space coming on that left side.
Came across laterally, right to left. Drew a player with him, but he could have gained the outside if he came around the shoulder.
Looks like he's looking for that forehand shot.
Greshus lining up with Kurlander, sends the ball back to Hutt. Sorry, that was Friedman. Ball stays in the HAFTR zone, and we're playing ping pong at the line. Newmark. Ball comes up to Friedman. Ball kept in the zone, out of play. Referee's going to say it stays in the zone. Greshus, Goldman on offense, Sender and Hutt on defense for North Shore. Same line for HAFTR. Ball comes out to Sender. Sender tries to send it across the floor, but it's blocked. Hurstwood sends the ball into his own. HAFTR touches up. Sender sends a shot, and it got deflected off of Newmark and almost into the net. Goldman and Newmark fighting for it. Goldman comes away with it. Back to the player. Goes into the corner. Newmark going back the other way behind the net. Met by Greshus. And the ball bounces in the air. Greshus comes away with the ball. Newmark sends the ball. Greshus is behind the net. At the line, kept in by Hutt. And it goes into the HAFTR corner. Olener fighting in front of us. Ball is kept in. Friedman sends the ball. Siegelman gloves it down and holds it for a whistle.
It kind of looks like North Shore is just willing to shoot from anywhere right here. We saw there was a full court shot earlier before, so it's gonna, that seems to be the strategy.
As we said about them, and we said about this gym, rebounds are a huge key. And if you can get a rebound that comes right to the front, we've had several of them. One can go in. Krupp did not see the ball there. Anything in front of the net might have slammed that one home.
Yeah, deflections are really tough for the goalies.
Greshus sends the ball
comes right back.
up and over. Goldman tries to jam it in. Krupp didn't see where the ball was. Greshus in the corner. Greshus sends the ball. Sender at the line. Ball goes to the side, and Goldman had a chance in front. Greshus lifting the stick. Greshus tried to turn and shoot. A little extra second wasted. Greshus still sends the ball to the net. Falling down. Great play. Newmark will pick it up, come behind the net. Going through to the line. Sends the ball in. Cohen gets the ball to Gelman. Gelman across to Newmark, and it's broken up by Goldman. Sender bringing the ball to the floor. 2-on-1. Sends the ball to Greshus, and it slides through. Silverman keeps the ball in the zone. Sender down low, sends the ball behind the net, and it goes out of play. So the ball will come out of the zone. 6:47 left in the first period. Again, you are watching the Nachum Segal Network's presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship, presented by Manischewitz.
Both teams are looking to combat, the low walls by putting the ball low off the walls and bring the ball up themselves rather than just throwing it at a wall.
Ball goes out of play right to Krupp, who covers it, and we'll have a face-off deep in the HAFTR zone. HAFTR will make a change. Friedman, Kurlander on. Zanger and Friedman on offense. Kurlander and Olener on defense. Sender sends the ball in. HAFTR sends the ball out of the zone. That was Friedman. Sender running back with it as the ball comes in, hits me.
It looks like this is the first shift where Greshus is off.
Absolutely. We'll see how the team can play with just Sender there. HAFTR may try to take advantage of this. Toledano sends the ball deep. Krupp paddles it to the side where Olener takes it, sends it around. Silverman tries to reach over to keep it in, but cannot get it. Two HAFTR players into the corner. Friedman tries to take it around. Sender gets the ball, sends it back out into the HAFTR zone. Olener sends it right back the other way, and we have Toledano coming around the net. Right, it's Silverman. Ball gets sent out into the HAFTR zone. Olener will put it on net, and we'll have an offsides. So, as we talked about the offsides, the ball will likely come out of play. It will likely come back into the defensive zone. At that point, every man from the team that was on offense and now has the ball in defensive zone has to touch back up before the ball hits either one of them or the goalie, or it'll be an offsides as well.
That plays a big part in the league where the ball comes back and forth a lot.
Shot on goal by Greshus, saved by Krupp. Ball kept in by Silverman, and we have two players fighting for 3 players now as Zanger comes in. Greshus tries to send the ball through, blocked by HAFTR. Newmark tries to get the ball out. Silverman hands the ball in, and they say it was touched by Zanger. HAFTR will try to bring it out. Goldman sends it into the net! Goldman with a snipe from the 3-point line puts North Shore up 1-0, 5:43 left in the first period.
Coming with the ball, HAFTR was unable to clear the ball with a keep by Silverman. Goldman's able to just turn around and fire it opposite side over the glove of Jordan Krupp.
HAFTR looked to be turned back the other way. Nobody watching him between what was actually the half-court line and the volleyball line in that no man's land. Got to pick up the man coming out of the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to stick with your man until the ball gets out of the zone there, defensively.
5:43 left. Have a face-up between Gelman and Goldman, and the ball is won into the HAFTR zone. Newmark trying to bat it up over his head. Misses, gets it, comes around the net. Sends the ball across to Gelman. We're going to have offsides. HAFTR will be off, coming back. Cohen dropped in a little too early. Greshus given the assist on the goal. Greshus sends the ball into the corner. Cohen and Goldman going to fight for it. Cohen comes away with it, but the ball is kept in by Silverman, and Greshus fighting with Newmark. Tries to send it between his legs through the front, but the ball goes through. Gelman dropping down. Sends the ball out of the zone. Greshus recovers, gets the ball in. Greshus coming up the side. Sends the ball through, and it's blocked.
Looking for the pass there on his backhand.
Gelman sent the ball out of the zone, and Sender will now come away with it. Send the ball to the net, paddled away by Krupp. Herskowitz tries to send the ball off the board. And we got a whistle for interference.
I think they're calling that on Greshus.
Greshus is going to get a penalty with 5:01 left in the first period. HAFTR will go on the power play.
So what is it they're calling there with interference?
Interference is where you impede another player from getting to the ball without going to the ball yourself. Every play in the league must be to try to gain possession of the ball. If you are keeping a player from getting to the ball, at least in this case from getting to the ball, there are other types of interference, then they will call that either a block at the line, a little check will even be an interference in our league.
Okay, so now going to HAFTR's power play, what they did against Halb was they went into 3-1 and they were looking for rebounds off the side, shooting opposite side.
It appears they have one of two different styles because when they played us in YCQ, they also went to a box. So it must be based on whatever personnel is on the floor. So I guess we'll see which one they come out with first.
Yeah, it looks like they're going into the box here. Now we're having everyone in tight. Yeah, it's looking like a box.
Sender will send the ball out of the zone. And HAFTR will look to regroup. Hurstwitz sends the ball across Cohen. Cohen sends the ball across to Gelman in the opposite corner. Gelman playing with Sender. Gelman comes on with the ball. Sends the ball in front, and it's jammed in front. It's still loose. And Siegelman will fall on it.
Like we said, their power play is looking to get goals from right in front of the net there. That's where they're looking. They're looking for rebounds. They're looking for jam goals.
It's where most of the goals have come from. In the game that they played against North Shore, they got two literally right in front of the net, poking the ball in. Ball sent to the middle. Sender, again, getting the ball out of zone. Ball bounce to Newmark. Newmark coming around with his forehand, puts it up the board. Comes around. Silverman looking to send it out, gets it to Goldman, who sends it to the opposite corner. Gelman dropping back to pick up the ball as about a minute, 45 seconds, about a minute gone on the power play, a minute and a half power play. So only Hurstwitz tries to send it across to Cohen, misses his mark. Sender will get it. Sender playing for a big body in the corner. Cohen reaching between him to pull the ball free as the two of them now converge, and the ball will travel all the way to the opposite side. Silverman going to send the ball out. Hurstwitz trying to keep it in with the glove. Hurstwitz coming around the net, pressured by Goldman. Up to Gelman. Newmark going to take a shot from back here. Ball goes just over the net, bounces to the front, and Gelman had a chance for a bouncing ball right in front. Those rebounds you talked about, Avidan.
Yeah, right off that wall.
Cohen and Silverman fighting for it. Just about 7 seconds left on the power play. Newmark.
Looks like North Shore is using more of a hybrid for their PK.
We'll explain that in just a second. Sender sends the ball as Grecius comes out of the box. And we're at full strength. Newmark sends the ball. Grecius putting the pressure on. Cohen sends the ball to the middle, paddled away by Siegelman. Sender puts the ball up. And Grecius pokes it between the legs. And we will have a whistle. A tired Ben Newmark calling for off in the middle of that play. Grecius sending the ball between his legs to Krupp.
So the hybrid penalty kill that I was talking about was that when the ball gets sent in deep into the power play's defensive zone, they don't necessarily send their chaser, the one offenseman on the court, all the way into the zone. They usually keep him about a little bit past the 3-point line. If the chaser then has the opportunity to go and get the ball, he'll go all the way in and get in there to get the ball, to create pressure on the power play.
Again, back to 4-on-4 action. Ball squirts into the HAFTR zone. Zanger puts a backhand to the net, and it's gloved. That was deflected on the way in, or he may have had a cleaner look on his backhand.
Yeah, that was very well played by the North Shore defense.
Almost could have been a knuckleballer finding its way up and in. Seen plenty of goals happen that way. Friedman going to step in with Grecius. North Shore wins it, sends it up to the line. And ball poked out of play. And we're going to have
another offside.
Zanger is offsides. The ball will come back deep. Sometimes on offsides, when the referees deem that it will be intentional, or when the pass that starts the offsides, is from behind the high face-off dot, the referees will bring it back and have it at the low face-off circle. As HAFTR tries to move up with it, kept in. Ball squirts out.
There's a man open in the middle for HAFTR here.
Nobody's covering the middle, and Grecius put that up. Friedman sends the ball, and it just gets through. Ball squirts in the middle. Herlander now has it, shoots, goes up high, goes behind the net. Friedman. 3 players fighting for it. Ball squirts in the middle. Sent out of the zone by Goldwyn. Friedman and Grecius fighting for it. Toledano. Ball is kept in. Played it into the middle. Grecius winds up, and it's underneath Krupp's stick. Seeing Toledano and Goldwyn. We're seeing Goldwyn for the first time today. Toledano had a shift earlier. Cut on defense along with Precious now.
Toledano's an interesting story. He came into the year, he was out for most of the year with a broken arm, but he was able to get 2 regular season games in and 1 semifinal in. So this is his 4th game of the season here.
And he's being trusted to get good minutes here. He's a very good player. I spoke with Shlomo Amslam. Shlomo loves being able to put him in now. Missed having him the first couple of games of the year, but the offense has really taken an extra step now that he's able to trust being able to put Precious on defense with Toledano now.
Yeah, I mean, Toledano seems to be a very, very quick player, so it's big for when you're forechecking as an offenseman.
Then comes out with the ball, puts a shot, hits the back wall. Oliner tries to clear it out. Gelman does. Ball sent back in. North Shore still offsides. Oliner sends the ball towards the North Shore net. Ball gets sent back into the HAFTR zone. Precious fighting for it with Oliner. Toledano being hounded by Kurlander. 24 on 24 over there. And Precious come out with the ball. Precious keeping Oliner to his back end. Sends the ball to the middle. Cohen comes down, sends the ball out of the zone. Sender puts the ball into the HAFTR zone. Oliner looking to send it, and HAFTR's offsides. They're going to have to touch up. Ball sent out and into the HAFTR zone. Cohen misses the play. And we're playing ping pong. We'll have an offside. Faceoff will be up high here. We'll have Goldman and Gelman, 2 G-men. Both going to HAFTR next year. Sender sends the ball out of the zone. Herskowitz drops back. Tries to clear the ball, hits a stanchion. Newmark from the middle, sends the ball to the net. And it's saved by Siegelman. As we have the 1-minute play mark in the first period. Again, you are watching the Metropolitan Yeshiva High Junior Hockey League Championships on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz.
You mentioned that Adam Goldman is going to HAFTR for high school next year. You think that's a little bit of extra incentive for a game like this?
Could very well be. Nobody wants to go into the next year knowing that the people that you're going to be playing with have won over you. And I guess that one goal there shows how he really wants to get this game on their side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Siegelman going down to make the save, and Sender dropping in behind him to make sure the ball does not squirt into the net. Face off deep in the North Shore zone. Sender matching up with Newmark. Newmark playing offense for the majority of this game, not being kept on defense. Newmark tries to send the ball through. Gelman tries to send the ball through to the middle. Ball dropped up, and just as I say that, Newmark drops back to defense. Precious tries to send the ball through the middle. We got nothing there. Gelman has the ball in the zone. Ball sent out into the HAFTR zone. Newmark and Goldman going to fight for it. Goldman blocks it, throws it to the middle. Nobody there. Cohen puts a shot. Knuckler that wound up behind the net. Ball sent back out into the HAFTR zone. Precious coming around. Trying to send it to the middle, off the goalie. Cleared out by Herskowitz. Ball, Cohen tried to hit it out of play. Sender deflected off of his stick and out of play.
Sender's been a big boy in the defensive zone for them. He's been shutting down every bit of HAFTR offense that comes their way.
I must have called his name about maybe 12.5 times already in the first 12 minutes of this game.
Yeah, he hasn't even gotten started with his offense yet. They got to be aware of his offense.
Right, once that shot goes in, hits off the back wall, it's going to create a lot of opportunities if HAFTR keeps letting him. 15 seconds left in the period. Newmark sends it to the net, and we're going to have an offsides. Technically, the term is offside. Offsides is sort of, I guess, the lazy man's way to put it, but HAFTR was offside on that play. Gelman and Goldman. Ball comes out of the zone. Cohen tries to back into the middle, no juice on it. Sender goes behind the net with 2 HAFTR players. Gelman playing with his hand, goes over to Newmark, and the whistle goes, and that'll be the end of the first period. First period of play done here at the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championships on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz. We'll be back in a second to talk about the first period. back at Lawrence Middle School for the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championships on the Knox Eagle Network, presented by Manischewitz. I'm Elliot Weiselberg, along with Avidan Berman. First period of play done. 1 goal. Adam Goldman scoring at the 5:43 mark of the first period, assisted by Charles Greshus. Only goal in the first period. A very eventful first period, Avidan.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into the start, North Shore seemed to be applying most of the pressure. They were up in shots at one point, 11-4, but the HAFTR power play seemed to get them started, and they were able to catch up and they to make it 14-8 in shots.
That HAFTR power play coming only a few seconds later, literally 42 seconds later, Charles Greshus getting sent off for interference. North Shore able to kill that off with their penalty kill. And here we stand, 1-0. What does HAFTR need to do to sort of get themselves back into this game? It's only 1-0, so getting back to this game is sort of, it's not a lead, but what do they need to do in order to tie this game up?
They have two things they need to do. Defensively, they need to make sure that they're covering their offensemen until the ball gets out of the zone. You can't lose your guy, and that's what led to the goal for North Shore. Was North Shore was able to keep the ball in the zone, and then North Shore and Goldman was wide open, so he was able to get the ball and score.
North Shore seems to be doing a very good job of that, keeping the ball in. Are they just getting themselves to the right position, or are they using their size effectively?
I think it's a combination of both. They're playing very strong positional hockey, but they're also using their size. They're able to keep high clears in with their hands.
Okay, so again, on the offensive end, what should HAFTR be looking for?
North Shore seems to be losing a man in the middle once in a while, so they got to be more aware of that and feeding the guy in the middle for those shots. They really haven't been able to apply the pressure up the middle.
One thing we've seen is that with space, Sender is able to move around, get the ball out of the net, but when he's pressured by 1 or 2 HAFTR players, it's become more of a fight. His size is really being taken away when the ball is sort of slow. Should North Shore be looking to keep the ball moving, somehow getting him open? I know you can't set a pick here, as you said, that'd be interference. How does North Shore keep Sender moving in order to create opportunities?
If I'm North Shore, they're playing against they're playing against 2 men to the corner, so you got to get the ball away from the original corner that it ends up in. And there's going to be an open defenseman on the other side of the court. So if you could go and throw the ball around the net to the open defenseman to clear out or move up the ball, that would be perfect for them.
And this is a product of HAFTR, for the most part, sending 2 men into the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we see both teams doing that to start this game, sending 2 men in onto the ball, leaving the other side open. So, famous play, the ring. It's like playing in hockey, playing in ice hockey, where you have the boards. You send the ball around the puck around the boards to the opposite side defenseman. Opposite side defenseman gets to clear the puck, or in this case, the ball out of play. No icing in our league, so you can pretty much send it the length of the floor and not have to worry about the ball coming back into the zone.
Yeah, it's great for scoring, especially it's going to be actually very good for this North Shore team not having anything like icing, because they like to shoot from everywhere. We saw a couple of times where they were shooting from behind their own foul line even, to just put the ball on net.
Both teams. We saw Newmark lining up for one from literally right in front of us on the power play, which is, I would say, a good 55 feet out. Yeah. I think that end to end, it's about 80 feet. Is that a fair estimate?
Yeah, I'd say about 80 feet.
So it's about, I would say 55 feet out. And the problem is, with so many bodies, a goalie can't necessarily track a low shot on net.
Well, we saw that very early in the game, where on a North Shore opportunity, they took a full court shot and it deflected off of Newmark at half court, and because of the way it deflects, it was very hard for Jordan Crump to pick it up.
We're all set, getting ready for the second period. Goldman and Olener stepping in for the faceoff. Goal check. Ball drops back to Kurlander. Sender gets the ball, tries to backhand. It's kept in by Kurlander. Kurlander fighting with Goldman for it at the line. Friedman comes back, helps out, tries to run through no man's land. Ball gets dropped out of play. Kurlander sends the ball into the well. And we're going to have an offsides by HAFTR.
It looked like Friedman was trying to pull the ball back there so he could keep his man on sides, but the ball just didn't cross over the line in time for him. So
yeah, HAFTR protesting, but he touched the ball while it was still in the offensive zone, so we get an offsides. Ball squirts into the zone. Olener sending it in. Olener and Sender going for it. Sender botting him up to the boards. Sender coming around on the move, sending the ball out of play, just like we discussed. Kurlander on Greshus. Greshus sends the ball to net, saved by Krupp. Ball goes into the net, off of Goldman's foot. Gresham sends the ball to the middle, hits off Goldman's leg, and into the back of net. That'll be Goldman's second goal. This time a fortuitous bounce, as we said. The play is so close, something to the middle, just find its way into the net.
Absolutely. We're looking at, exactly what we were talking about in the pregame, where this is their big offensive line, their Ben Sagan line.
So now, North is a 2-0 lead. Only 33 seconds in. Here's the replay.
Coming into the zone. Oh, no, this is the offside.
This is the offsides. Now we're getting back to live play. Sender backhands the ball out of the zone. Gresham, 2-on-1 if he hurries. Cohen comes in, takes the ball from him, but the ball goes out of play.
That's a big play by offensive Cohen right there.
Yeah, if not, it was a 2-on-1. Gresham could have turned to his forehand, put a shot opposite corner. Even if not, even if it's a save, Goldman was right in the middle unchecked.
Gresham's got a very good wrist shot. Got to be aware of that.
Goldman lining up. Sends the ball to the opposite side where Gresham and Herskowitz fight for it. Gresham, body to the back to the play, comes around the net.
Looks like they have
Sends the ball to the middle again. Gresham comes around the front, puts the ball to the net, more, blocks it. Goldman in the corner, back to the defenseman. Two HAFTR players coming in on him, and it'll cause a turnover. But he gets it right back. Again, two HAFTR players on him, trying to keep him from turning around. Ball loose. Gresham tries to come away with it. Gelman keeps it. Ball sent across. Right in front and wide open play. Ball bounces on the goalie and across the crease. Gresham could not poke it in. Ball still in the zone. Goes out of the zone. Gelman poking it out. Cohen coming away from Sender with it. Cohen having a lot of success going against Sender. Sender tries to send the ball play. Kept in by Herskowitz. Ball sent out by North Shore and on goal, and we'll have a stoppage in play. 10:20 left in the second period.
I think Cohen's success against Sender in those corners has to do with his ice hockey roots. He's not willing to be. He's very willing to get into those corners with a bigger player, and he doesn't mind getting pushed around if it means him coming out with the ball.
Goldman and Friedman fighting forward. Gresham tries to send the ball. Ball's loose in front. He has no idea where it is, and the ball's in the net. We have another goal. Is it a hat trick? I believe they're going to give that. They may give that one to Goldman, and maybe a hat trick for Goldman.
It looks like Gresham thinks he has it.
Oh, looked like Goldman was close to the play. So we'll see what happens.
The ball came loose in the the ball came loose off the shot there. And Goldman fighting in the middle, he was able to get down on his knees and actually poke that through Krupp.
So Goldman with a natural hat trick, scoring the first 3 goals of this game. Will have a timeout by HAFTR. 3-0. Game started out in line for HAFTR to come back in this period. 1-0 at the end of the first period. We're only a minute 47 into the second period. 3 goals now, 3-0. 2 goals in the first minute 47 of the period, both by Goldman. Where does it leave HAFTR now?
They got to press right now. They got to be confident, but they can't look at this as they can't look at this as a 3-goal deficit right now. They need to go, and this is 1-0. They got to tie it up, get one more, get another one. You can't. Once you start looking up and it starts looking like it's so far, you start tightening up on the stick.
Obviously, you have to remember there's 10:13 left in this period. There's 12 minutes left in a whole other period. They just did that. You can do the same thing the other way.
Absolutely, and the goal. It wasn't like the North Shore was doing anything particularly special. It's something HAFTR could score the same exact way. There were goals right in the middle, so it's about applying that pressure there.
Just a little story about a 3-goal lead. Back when, Avidan, you were in 7th grade, when Hank and Hal met up in the, I believe it was the 2006-2007 championship. I was the assistant coach of that team. We went into the third period. Talk about the third period, down 3 goals. It was 5-2. Within a minute 37, that game was tied up. It can turn just like that.
I remember, Elliot. I remember.
You were on the bench.
Yeah.
You were right there next to me. So
yeah.
let's see what HAFTR can do to get back into this game. Goldman. Tries to send the ball through, squirts back out. Sender pulls the ball, tries to send it through the middle. Gresham now has it. Gresham comes around, pulls forward, and scores! Beautiful goal!
What a goal by Charles Gresham. He just picked apart the HAFTR defense. Yeah, that was everything. That was the whole package right there.
There goes that.
Gresham he gives a deke around one defenseman, fires it top shelf with that fantastic wrist shot he has right there. He really showed the full package. It was the speed, it was the shot, it was the handles, and there's a good reason why he has 60 career goals right there. You see it.
Krupp went down looking for a low shot as a butterfly. Gresham just put it right up over him. Great vision. Here we have another goal in the first 2 minutes. I guess I was foreshadowing that when I talked about 3 goals. But there we go, and now it's a 4-0 game. We'll have a penalty.
We're gonna have a penalty.
Siegelman's going to get a penalty for pushing Zanger. The ball will go off the backboard to stop play, but we'll get a penalty on goalie Mark Siegelman pushing Zanger in front of the net.
That's a tough situation for goalies because they want to clear the front of their net. They don't like having guys in front of them, so you kind of try to give him a push to kind of try to move him there. But it looked like he might have been getting too aggressive there in pushing him from outside of the crease to get that interference penalty.
There's no problem bumping up with the goalie, bumping up, trying to push the player out, but once you start shoving him, that's when you have problems. As you're trying to figure out exactly who to put in the box, as it's a bench penalty. Siegelman, I think, thinks he has to go to the box. Not in hockey in any sense. So they're going to have Silverman serve the penalty. 9:48 left in the second period of play. Another minute and a half penalty.
It looked like North Shore for their penalty kills going with what we would call their big three. You know, you got your two big goal scorers in Greshus and Goldman, and then you got your big, strong defenseman in Sender.
I guess. Let's see if they get aggressive, seeing what HAFTR's given them this period. I guess you think they may have HAFTR on the ropes mentally. One more, especially on the penalty kill, and that could do it for this game.
I mean, Greshus also plays two positions. He plays everything for him. So,
sends the ball.
Yeah, it looks like they're going and just applying pressure there. We're still going with the one chaser.
Goldman fighting against two HAFTR players. Herskowitz come out, and we'll get a penalty on another penalty on North Shore. We'll be down 2 men. Goldman getting a penalty for tripping. Goldman tripping Herskowitz in the corner. And we'll get a 4-on-2 for what will amount to about a minute and 16 seconds.
This is a massive opportunity for HAFTR. North Shore just took a timeout, I believe.
North Shore will take a timeout. If you can get 2 goals now, 2 goals on the power play, HAFTR can be right back into this, and with the momentum, especially with over half a game left, scoring 2 goals that quickly, we could see a whole new ballgame.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what happened last period, where HAFTR went and was able to get, put a lot more pressure after their power play in the first period. Maybe this could turn it around their period here also.
As you said, 1 goal at a time. 1 goal. All you need is 1 now, 1 in a minute. As long as you clamp down on defense, you keep the game going, you keep the ball towards the net, good bounces, and this game could easily be 4 up at some point.
Mentally, this is going to be on Newmark and Gelman to keep their team together, their captains. Their experience, they've been down before. They got to just remember, this game, they could definitely come back in this game. So it's very important as the captains to really, keep their team motivated and keep them into it.
Let's see if, as we saw last year in the junior high championship game, we had a 4-on-2 as well. Let's see what happens with the penalty killers. I wonder, they're going to go with Greshus and Sender. Wonder if they're going to play 2 back or if they're going to play 1-1, where they have a chaser up top and a defenseman down low. Let's see what style they come out with on a 4-on-2. Newmark and Greshus. Greshus comes away with it. On his backhand, sends the ball off the wall, out of play.
It looks like they're bunching on one side even. Greshus and Sender are both on the same side here.
They're going to have a face-off, a whistle. Face-off for a dead ball in the corner. They're sending 1 man in, keeping Sender back.
Strategically, you'd think Sender would only be on the other side of the court there, no?
No, not necessarily, because this way he has the bead wherever he needs to go.
That's fair.
Maybe when they get possession, he might want to shift over, like that. Newmark brings the ball in. Newmark sends the ball back to Cohen, doesn't hit. Sends the ball over to Herskowitz. Herskowitz comes around, puts the ball to the net, misses the net. Paddled away by Siegelman. Sender sends the ball, but not past Newmark. Newmark playing with the ball in the corner. He really should keep the ball moving on a 4-on-2, not look to stick handle. That ball needs to go where the players aren't, whereas the old saying goes, where the players ain't.
Yeah. It looks like HAFTR's is trying to move the ball a little bit too quickly. They're not really possessing it on their power play as much. Newmark there, maybe if he turns around, maybe give himself a little bit more time. No?
Well, again, I would think you would want the ball to keep moving because you have 1 player on you. That's 3 other players, 2 of whom do not have a player guarding them. Precious picks up the ball on the line, and it's going to be an offsides.
So, just on my perspective, I would like to, control it for the first second, just so the ball isn't moving, spinning around too much.
Okay, draw the player over in order to give yourself a passing lane.
Yeah.
Got it. Gelman, ball floats out of the zone. Herskowitz looking to set up. Herskowitz sends the ball up to Cohen. Cohen sends the ball across, and it's kept in.
Nope, they thought they were offsides there.
Bad miscue. Sender does send the ball out. Does now. And we have over a minute gone. We're almost done with both penalties. HAFTR really missing an opportunity here. We have Newmark coming into the zone. Tries to send the ball. Greshus playing with it. Sends the ball out into the HAFTR zone. Hurst dropping back. SLB onside. As we have one player back, and it's a 4-on-3. And Siegelman will cover up as we return to 4-on-3 play.
We saw HAFTR on that power play actually when the ball take advantage of that brick wall in the back. When it came into their defensive zone, they were able to break out real quick because the ball came right back out to their player. They didn't have to chase it as far.
But a bad miscue on what they thought would be an offsides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasted time, ball out of the zone. Wasted a shot opportunity too. Nobody was near the ball. We have two players fighting for it in the corner. Now we got four in the corner. Sender sends the ball out back in. Ball will hit the rafters above us, and it'll stay in the North Shore zone deep.
That was Sender using his size right there in the corner, able to take the ball with three other guys there and just clear it with his backhand.
Both power plays now over, so we will return to 4-on-4 play. Missed opportunity for HAFTR. Look to see where they go from here. HAFTR still not hitting the 10-shot mark on the, despite having the opportunity to on that. I think they may have gotten one shot on that on the 4-on-2. One shot on net.
It might have been only one. It's a big miss. It's similar to actually last championship where it was a 4-on-2, no goal scored. Oh, actually, that's not true.
We're gonna have offsides. Owner not being able to get the ball in. Cohen not realize it, touching the ball. Yeah, last year there was a goal scored on the 4-on-2.
Yeah.
Yoni Goldberg scoring from the point on a miscue. Made it back to 4-on-3, but it was a little too late. That was the second goal. That was the second goal of the game, I believe. No, it was the third. My apologies. Sender fighting with Cohen. Cohen on an extended shift. This offensive line, and we're going to get a penalty on Sender. We get a penalty on Sender behind the net for checking Cohen. So North Shore again, and now without their biggest defensive penalty killer.
Yeah, this is another big opportunity for HAFTR right here. They got to take advantage of Sender being off the court because again he's their main defenseman. Now they're probably going to be sticking Greshus back for to be one of the defensive penalty killers again.
You got to imagine that this another positive penalty kill by North Shore, debilitating for HAFTR, seeing that they can't even get that goal on a man advantage. Ball flops.
So instead of their chase, they're going to be using Toledano to chase instead of Goldman for this one.
Olener flips the ball out. Friedman tries to take a shot, neutralized by Greshus. Goldman sends the ball up to Toledano. Toledano sends the ball into the zone. HAFTR will regroup. Olener behind the net. Olener can't get around Toledano. Toledano looking to kill. Two HAFTR players in. Gelman sends the ball up towards the net, and it's gloved by Siegelman. 7:03 left in the second period. You are watching the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship between HAFTR and North Shore on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz. Greshus wins the faceoff back, sends the ball out of the zone. Olener drops back, sends the ball behind the net to Newmark with the setup. Ball bounces weirdly off the boards. Newmark coming around the net. And
we got another
penalty. Another 4-on-2.
North Shore's really got to start keeping their cool here. They're giving HAFTR way too many opportunities here to just flip the momentum.
I don't think that was an intentional play. I think he just tried to keep the stick on the ball and just got his stick caught around the net and it hit Newmark. I mean, granted, that's still a penalty, but I don't think it's North Shore making a mental mistake as much as it is just making a mistake of trying to keep his stick out.
You just got to always be aware of where you're keeping your stick there. Yeah, you could see HAFTR going around the net, and no, he actually has his stick around the North Shore player there. The North Shore player has around the HAFTR player there. Well, then you've got to be more aware of that stick. You can't do that.
I stand corrected as the 4-on-2 starts up again. Newmark will move up, sends the ball across the Freeman, who is offsides. Cannot cross the line. If you have the ball, you can cross in with your body first before the ball, but you cannot cross in before you possess the ball. Not much time left on the other penalty, which is coming back very, very shortly. I think 15 seconds. Goldman sends the ball out. HAFTR looking to reset. Newmark sets up the fire, puts the ball to the net, gloved by Siegelman.
if you're gonna be taking a shot like that, another player should probably come to half court and put a little bit of a screen. It looked like Siegelman had that lined up all the way through.
5 more seconds remaining on the first penalty to North Shore. Center will come back in, and North Shore will be at its proper penalty kill. Cohen lining up wide. They look to make a run to the net here with a flip to the net. We have a change of stick. Looks like Friedman running to the bench. Look for Friedman maybe to make a flip play to the net for Cohen to run in. And he tried it. McGresh blocked and sent the ball out of the net, out of the zone. Olener sends the ball to the net.
If I'm HAFTR,
I apologize. There are 12 more seconds left in this penalty. There is just a little under a minute left in the second North Shore penalty.
If I'm HAFTR and I'm breaking out here, I don't want to dump it down because I want to keep possession the whole time. Exactly what they're doing right now. You want to,
Newmark, send it off. Looks to the back wall. Ball bounces out. Greshus dives to try to keep the ball, to get the ball out. Doesn't get it out, but still fighting for the ball. Ball bouncing out of the zone. Ball sent to the net, but it'll be an offsides. Olener, not realizing ball coming out of the zone, comes up, takes a shot, sends it on net. HAFTR not yet touched up.
Got to be preaching patience here. Even on a power play, a lot of it comes down to patience.
I don't think there's anybody in front of him. If he'd have taken 2 seconds, waited for his guys to get back on side, he'd have a free shot at the net anyway. Ball bounces right to Krupp. Newmark winds up, off the back wall. Gelman misses it. Ball sent to the middle. Cohen by himself misses the shot. Bouncing ball. Sender now has it. Sender sending it out of the zone. Newmark dropping back. Newmark sends the ball up to Cohen. Cohen misses it. Sender sends it back out of the zone. North Shore will regroup. HAFTR dropping back. Precious jumps in front of Gelman. And they're going to send the ball deep into the zone, get back to a 1-2. Cohen tries to come around Sender. Sender, ball sent in by Cohen, and we are at full strength. Another 4-on-2, killed off by North Shore.
Looks like Cohen might be coming off hurt here.
What was North Shore able to do twice? Not once, but twice, to keep that 4-on-2. As we see, Gresh is doubling over, needing a little bit of wind. He's been used quite a lot this period, and he's coming off. But what did they do that neutralized HAFTR so well?
They forced HAFTR to clear the ball down, and then they got to every ball first.
It seemed as if trying to get the ball to the line, HAFTR just resorted to putting the ball into the zone, trying to get a rebound. But the bounce is coming off the wall, not going HAFTR's way.
Yeah, those are really difficult bounces to corral. You know, because the ball's bouncing, it bounces high. It's not really baseball because your stick is so thin.
Newmark coming up with the ball. 3-on-2. Sends the ball across to Gelman, who puts the shot wide. Sender sends the ball out of the net, out of the zone. Herskowitz running over with Golden, the 2-18s. Friedman coming up.
It looks like HAFTR offensively is starting to send another man down to create a 3-1 in the offensive zone, looking for those cross-court passes as we saw Newmark passing across to Gelman.
Now the good part is the passes are there, the opportunities are there, they're getting the ball across, they're just not finishing. So you got to figure a little bit more the opportunity, assuming that North Shore doesn't jump in front, and HAFTR could have a couple of good shots on net. Four players fighting forward in the corner. Friedman and Silverman. Ball still by the HAFTR bench. Toledano dropping back into us and then out of the zone. Herskowitz keeps it in with Toledano, getting it out now. Getting back into the zone. Dumps it back in. Newmark winds up. Sends the ball into the zone. Sender getting the ball off the wall. Being fought for, but still sends it to the line. Kept in by Newmark. Newmark backhands it. Olener tries to glove it, coming off the bench. Olener tries to put it through the middle. Gets in the middle, hurt. Newmark not getting it. Siegelman down on the ground. Gelman behind the net. Backhands it to Olener. The ball will go out of play. We'll have a face-off deep. HAFTR with the 3-1. Really looking to pound the ball to the middle, just not getting the opportunity. Siegelman laying out in a big body like that. You're going to keep the ball if it's on the ground. You got to get it up over him. Sender and Zanger. And face off. Zanger gets the ball to Olener and a shot on net. Another shot on net. Sent to the corner. Zanger sends it to the middle. Nobody in in front of it. Olener had another opportunity. None of the North Shore players getting onto the loose ball. Ball getting right across to Olener. Not getting the opportunity to put into the net. The ball on his stick. Nobody on him.
As we alluded to in the pregame, HAFTR opportunities are coming from the right in front of the net there.
The only way to get back to this game, you got to start converting the opportunities that North Shore is giving you. Ball squirts out of the zone. Goldman sends the ball down into the corner. Goldman comes around. Greshus now with Newmark. Newmark has been forced to play a lot of this game trying to neutralize Greshus. Greshus coming out. Deeks tries to put it in the middle, doesn't get there. Great play by Kurlander. Very smart play by Kurlander. Ball kept in though. Newmark comes around the net on his forehand, puts the ball to the wall behind, hits the back of the net. Siegelman reaches back on the back of the net and gets the whistle. 3:03 left in the second period. You are watching the MYJHHL Junior High Championship game on the Nachum Segal Network, presented by Manischewitz. Once again, 4-0 North Shore. 3 goals in the first 2 minutes of the second period. Breaks open a 1-0 game. 2 of them in this period and 1 in the last period by Adam Goldman, and a beautiful shot by Charles Greshus to put the game at 4. Greshus and Olener lining up for the faceoff. Ball comes out of the zone. Goldman on his back to Greshus. Greshus moves around, doesn't quite get there. Kurlander getting stick in his way. Olener sending the ball out of the zone. Silverman backhands it up to the line. Herskowitz blocked by Greshus. Shot goes around to Kurlander. Kurlander sending the ball down. Siegelman thought he had it. Ball comes back around in front. Kurlander pinching in, not being able to get the ball. Greshus and Kurlander fighting for it. Greshus comes away with it. Greshus sends the ball through the middle. No dice there. Silverman tries to keep it in. Ball comes back out. Cohen gets the ball. Nobody's in the middle. If he gets a pass, nobody may get there. Tried to do it. Blocked by the North Shore player. And Silverman tries to get it out. Handed in by the HAFTR player, but it gets out of the zone anyhow. Ball stays in the zone. Hits off Cohen. Greshus takes a shot. Bounced off Goldman. Looked like it was going to the net. Ball sent through the middle. Hutt picked up by Olener. Doesn't quite get to it. Ball sent back into the North Shore zone. And we're going to have an intentional offside face-off. So North Shore getting an opportunity there with the ball bouncing off. A shot, the ball bouncing off the wall. Looks like it may hit off the North Shore player into the net, just going a bit wide. Face-off will be back in the North Shore zone. Friedman, Greshus picks up the ball. Olener drops back. Olener misplays the ball, comes around the net with it still. Tries to send the ball out, hits off Sender, but it goes out of his own. Sender sends it back in. HAFTR will have to drop back and regroup. Ball handed down by Goldman. I'm sorry, it's Toledano. Number 12 is Toledano. 24 is Toledano. 24 is Toledano.
Easy way to tell is the red helmet.
Yeah, there you go. Normally looking for the numbers, but there you go. Ball sent back into the zone. North Shore. Sender again sending the ball with a big shot off the backboard. Hit by the HAFTR player. Touched by the North Shore player, so no hand pass. And we're going to have it deep in the North Shore zone. Cohen and Hutt fighting for it. Hutt's got to watch his stick. Friedman coming around the net. Cohen can't quite get there. Kurlander keeps it in. Or he does not. Did not see a hand up, but it was an offsides. Greshus playing with it at the line. Cohen came back, touched the ball. 1:10 left in the second period. You got to think you need 1 before the end of this period if you were HAFTR.
Yeah, you got to be looking for that first goal. I feel like this is one of those games, once you break it open once, it'll give you the confidence to do it a couple of more times.
Ball kept in by Sender at the line. North Shore dropping 2 players back. Wonder if that's going to be the way to do it for the game. Travels across. Newmark on his backhand coming around, pressured by Goldwyn. Newmark trying to move up with the ball. Gets it through Sender. Moves up with it and puts the ball. And it's saved by
and get that 2-on opportunity.
As I said, North Shore, the last minute of this period, playing a little conservatively. Toledano sends the ball out. challenged for by Kurlander. And the ball will go out of play into the North Shore bench. We're going to face off deep in the HAFTR zone.
A player for HAFTR who's not given as much credit because of this 4-0 game right now is Oliner, Calvin Oliner. He's been playing offense and defense. He's been getting a lot of opportunities for them. He's been relatively solid in the defensive zone, but no stats. There aren't too many stats in hockey for playing good defense. So
ball knocked out of play by Gelman, and we'll reset. Oliner, one of those basketball transfers that we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Oliner last year playing basketball didn't actually try out the first cut because of an injury, but asked the coach to get a tryout. Coach gave him a tryout. I think he's glad he did for the way he's played this year.
Absolutely, I believe he's an all-star this year.
That he is. He'll be competing at the S. Semmelman Memorial All-Star event, which is on April 2nd.
Big event, a lot of all-stars here today.
I think you have 9 combined between the, 9 combined between the two teams.
Wow.
Sender and Newmark, both of them on the all-star roster. Ball gets sent out of the zone, and Kurlander beats Golden to the ball, backhands it in. Siegelman will keep it in play to try to run out the period. Ball sent back into the HAFTR zone, and you got Kurlander with 2 players on him. Kurlander, 6 seconds left in the period, 5. As we got 4 players not fighting the corner, 2 centers looking to come in, but it's going to be the end of the period right there. End of 2 here in Lawrence Middle School at the MYJHHL championship game on the Knock'em Single Network, presented by Manischewitz. 4-0 your score. We'll be back right after this. We are back at Lawrence Middle School and the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship game. North Shore and HAFTR, 4-0 North Shore lead going into the second period. We are sponsored by Manischewitz. We're on the Knock'em Signal Network, sponsored by Manischewitz. Well, with Manischewitz, we know that with the end of this game, we know the end of the season means we are close to Pesach. Avidan, your house getting cleared for Pesach already?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look, we still got a couple of weeks. We're still cleaning out from Purim, but when it comes time for Pesach, you know you can count on Manischewitz. This year, 3 new items for their kids edition line. Avidan, what is everybody's favorite Pesach treat? You can't have bread. You can't go to the store. You don't have dough. What's your favorite treat?
Matzah pizza.
That's exactly it. Matzah pizza. Problem is, for me in the past, it's always come out looking like matzah lasagna. You know, you layer the pan with matzah, you put sauce, you put cheese, you put matzah, and it's like the only way you can do it is you fit it in the pan, and it's a square pan, a rectangle pan. Comes out really, like I said, looking like matzah lasagna. Not this year. This year, Manischewitz has a do-it-yourself matzah pizza set. You get the triangular matzah pieces. They give you the sauce. They give you the cheese. Make it yourself. It's like you're eating actual pizza.
That's very exciting. I'll send my mom to the store right when I get home.
Well, can't wait to try that out. That, along with their new s'mores line, the same way. Give you the squares of matzah. They give you the marshmallows. They give you the chocolate, and you just go and you just have fun. Fun for kids of all ages. As we get back to action here, that period, North Shore really making a run of it. 3 goals in the first 2 minutes of the game, blowing it wide open. You mentioned HAFTR going to a 3-1. What do they have to keep doing in order for that 3-1 to work effectively?
They need to keep getting to the ball first when they clear the ball, and they got to make sure that ball gets in deep. They can't be. They got to keep the ball off the floor. North Shore's keeping everything on the floor keeping everything on the floor in. So get the ball high when you're clearing it, and get to the ball first once it goes into the offensive zone. Again,
2 goals to open the period by Adam Goldman, notching the Natty Hattie. Followed up by a goal by Charles Grecius. Ball gets in play. Sender tries to send the ball out. Does. Grecius chasing in with Herskowitz. Grecius coming away with it. Grecius back to the play. Sends it through the middle. And the ball is cleared away by Newmark. Herskowitz. Goldman. Silverman. Ball is hit by Newmark out of the air and dropped to the ground. Siegelman covering the ball. Newmark's clear out on net. Again, 22 seconds gone. Bless you. 22 seconds gone in the third period of play. This is a little bit of flu season. Neither of us have the flu. I spent the weekend not feeling well either. But here we go. We're all here for this big game, the finale of the Junior High Hockey League. Ball is fought in the North Shore zone. Again, the players not switching until midway through the third period. Newmark coming out with the ball, pressing the ball out, pressured by Goldman. Gets the ball up to Olener, who puts the shot to the net. And covered again by Siegelman.
Look like North Shore HAFTR still going to the long shots from back there, not really looking to move into the zone, which they seem to have success when they were moving into the zone late in that second period. So something to take note of.
Speaking of junior high championships, congratulations to the Kushner Cobras for winning the Hamish League Championship, running a perfect season, defeating Yavnet 2-0 on Thursday night. Getting back to this one, the New York League. Goldman and Kurlander fighting for the ball behind the net, and we're going to have a penalty on Kurlander. Siegelman gonna come out. Always a tricky play to have a goalie come out, especially all the way across the floor.
Yeah, that's also dangerous in our kind of gym, because if you make a back pass and there's no defenseman there, that could roll into your own net. So that's very dangerous play by North Shore.
We're gonna get a penalty. I believe it's on Kurlander. And yet they got him. He's gonna be tripping behind the net. Minute 6 into the period. Minute and a half for tripping. The last thing you want as North Shore is to make a bad pass there and for the ball to roll into the net, giving them a free goal.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a little bit too aggressive for me, but you know what? I'll tell you what. They're winning 4-0. They know what they're doing. So
I guess you can take a little more, but at this point, make sure you win this game. Don't give them any opportunities. As HAFTR is going to come out with Friedman, Olener, and Herskowitz to kill off the penalty. Goldman, Grecius, Sender. And Silverman on the power play. Ball in the corner, Gresham and Goldman. Olener sends the ball. Is this the first time we've seen the North Shore power play tonight?
I believe so.
This morning, actually, not tonight. Skipping a couple of hours here.
Yeah, this is the first HAFTR penalty of the game.
Going to see what North Shore can do with the man advantage. They look to get the ball across to Gresham on his shooting side for the most part. Ball gets sent out of the zone. Silverman sends the ball behind them to Sender. Sender looking to set up. Goes. They're going to have an offsides. Friedman coming in behind the play also, swinging his stick. He's not careful. They can go down on a 4-on-2 just the other way. And right now, you don't want to spend more time with too many men off the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. As an alternate captain, he's got to be aware of that. You gotta play a safe game here. You got to play smart.
Same 7 players on the floor. Friedman gets the ball taken away by Gresham. Gresham backhands it. Olener looking to fight with him. Gresham coming away, sends the backhand through the crease and out into the North Shore bench. Gresham just overpowering Olener, getting the ball across the crease. No takers there to put the ball home.
Gresham's using a very strong box-out move whenever he gets into these sideboards, to allow the rest of his team to set up in the power play.
Yet another ice hockey move. The other player on this court to play competitive ice hockey, other than Cohen from HAFTR. Goldman sends the ball to Sender. Sender back to Goldman. Goldman tries to send the ball through the middle, and it hits off Olener. Olener will send the ball back to the point. Silverman sends the ball down. 2 North Shore players, Goldman and Sender, on Herskowitz.
Looks like HAFTR's leaving the point open here.
I think they're just trying to make sure that nothing happens in front of the net. Because I think that's where the majority of the play has really killed them, and that's in front of the net.
Yeah, most definitely, but having so many guys down there, it could screen the goalie, so you got to be careful there also. You want to give a clear path for the goalie to see.
9:51 left in the third period. Right now of the game, there is, I think, 27 seconds left on the penalty. Ball goes out of play. We're now down to 25 seconds. I was right, there we go. Precious tries to backhand it in. Silverman keeps it, sends the ball down low. Blocked by Olener, who sends it to the boards. Precious coming around to the front. Poked away by Krupp. And they keep poking in front. Sender sends it to the net and scores! Scramble in front. As we just talked about, keeping the ball out of the middle. The scramble in front, producing the goal.
Yeah, that was them. That was, once again, I think that's pretty much where every single one of the North Shore's goals has come from, right in front of the net there.
With the exception of Goldman's first goal, that is absolutely right. Within the, what you call in basketball, the key.
It looks like the ball came off on a rebound, and Sender was standing right at about a little bit behind the foul line, being able to shoot it top shelf there on the blocker side.
5-0. HAFTR's really going to have to dig down deep to come back in this one. We've had comebacks before, so it's not out of the possibility. Ball goes to Siegelman, and Siegelman gloves it. But this is North Shore really putting on both the offensive and defensive dominance that we discussed.
Yeah, this looks like one of their best games of the season also. They're doing really everything correctly at this point.
The one thing they didn't do that they allowed to happen in the HAFTR game and in HAFTR was they allowed HAFTR to get momentum. They have not allowed HAFTR to get anything started. And it's really coming to fruition for them for the game.
I mean, I think you'd think of that because of their strong penalty kill. It's really kept HAFTR away from building up the momentum at the opportunities when they had.
That shot, North Shore's third shot of the period. North Shore only 3 shots on net, all 3, I believe, on the power play. Sender putting that one in the back of the net. Krupp will come out and cover it.
So, Elliot, as a coach, you've been in many championship games. What would you be telling your HAFTR team right now?
Keep plugging away. Keep yourself to the net because you've gotten the opportunities. Again, like you said before, one at a time. This is a game that can turn on a dime. You saw 3 goals scored in 2 minutes. What's the reason why we can't do that the other way around? We've had our opportunities. Starts in the defensive zone where Kurlander now has the ball. Dekes out
And HAFTR's not a team really to, just say, oh wow, down 5-0. They actually led the league in scoring this year, so they have the offensive capability of coming back into this game.
That is correct. Ball sent out past Hutt. Greshus, looks like they may try to keep Greshus on just for security. Send it, Gelman keeps the ball in. Ball hits off a socket in front. Ball goes behind the net to Newmark. Newmark with Hutt on him. Newmark comes around. Ball swiped away by Greshus. Polidano comes out of the zone, puts the ball towards the net. Krupp paddles it into the corner. Newmark sends the ball to the net and is gloved.
About those sockets, on the side there. In the first time I coached in this gym, I was coaching Rambam, and we were playing against TABC. And one of the goals that we allowed actually came off of a face-off where the ball came off of the socket out to a player, and it put our defenseman out of position. They were able to go and shoot right off there and score.
So every part of Lawrence Middle School, as we discussed before the game started, really comes into play given the size of the floor.
Yeah, for sure.
Greshus. You see Carpel on for the first time this game for North Shore, and we have a hand pass. They call a hand pass, they call offsides, one of those two. I believe they called a hand pass. Ref saying Carpel did not touch it. Carpel and Goldman on offense. Greshus.
Carpel is one of the lone 7th graders on this North Shore team.
He is the lone 7th grader, I believe. There are only 2 7th graders in this entire game, if I'm not mistaken. So both of these teams, this is really, for them, this is the game they both wanted to come in winning, because it's going to be a rebuilding for both teams out of this year. Greshus sends the ball up off the scoreboard. Herskowitz with Carpel on him. Sends the ball up past Hutt. Greshus tries to send the ball out of the zone, shanks it, and the ball goes right to Silverman.
And that's another HAFTR opportunity which they need to take advantage of. Those blown clears that come out to the middle. They need to have a guy in the middle to tap those in.
Greshus trying to clear the ball out fast, not getting good wood on the ball. Friedman not getting his stick out, hits him in the foot. Those can go in the net too. Just keep putting pressure on, keep the forecheck up, which HAFTR has done successfully. They just haven't been able to keep the ball in as effectively. They got the pressure on, but they're not able to keep the ball from getting out of the zone. Ball comes out of play. Carpel and Newmark fighting for it down here. And the ball will come back into the HAFTR zone. 7:26 remaining in the third period. 5-0 North Shore. Sender, the goal early on in the period on the power play to put HAFTR down by 5. And we'll have Newmark coming in. We'll have a penalty on Greshus.
And I think they're calling him for a trip right there.
Yep, definitely a trip right in front of us.
Nice and easy call for Jason Schlessel.
Only question is, did he get the ball? Did he not? Doesn't matter. Referee says no, and that's how you have to go. If you get the ball on a trip, if you get ball first and on that same motion and follow through, you then get the man, it's not a penalty. You are safe. There's no trip. On a slash, it's actually different. But on a trip, get ball first, and they won't call it on you. Ref's got to be watching that, though. So we'll have a minute and a half. Greshus in the box. HAFTR will try to capitalize on, I believe, their 6th power play of the night. And we'll have an offsides.
This third period has been a lot more back and forth. We're looking at shots of 6 for North Shore, 4 for HAFTR, so they've been relatively even here.
Ball kept in the zone by Sender. Sender dropping back. Send over to Newmark. Newmark sends over to Friedman. They're kind of bunching up. I think they're making it a little too easy on North Shore with both people on the same side. If you're on the same side, if you have both offensemen on the same side, all that means is that the defenseman just has to be ready to take both of them. You want to spread the floor a little bit more in order to get more of a passing lane. If you bunch up, there really is no chance to get that pass to your teammate. Ball kept in the zone. Newmark, Gelman fighting for it, trying to send the ball through the middle, but cleared out of there. Newmark turns, sends the ball behind the net, misses. Gelman tries to send the ball through. Newmark moving up, pinching in. Newmark with something, puts it on the net and scores! Power play goal, Ben Newmark. Beautiful shot from the side.
Could this be the turning point for HAFTR right here? That was a big.
Well, no matter how you slice it, it's a goal, and it's an important one because it gets them on the board.
It looks like Newmark just fired off from an off angle. The ball came around, came to the side, and just caught him on the near side. A great wrist shot right there. Just catching a goalie moving.
Looks to be taking a timeout. Are they? Siegelman, helmet off, looking to get it through. Nope, they're going to let the play go. Gelman, looking to get a timeout. Now we are going to get a timeout by North Shore. Waiting for the last possible second. Old coach's trick.
Yeah, most definitely. You have the goalie. He kind of resettles himself. Gets your team some extra time to rest. Then you call your timeout, so you get extra time.
You wait till they get in. You wait till they get back to the face-off. You dilly-dally a bit, and then at the last second, when the referee leads in, you lean over. You call a timeout.
I think this is a big opportunity for HAFTR right here. They have the opportunity right here to really take the momentum. They could get another quick one in here. It really changes up the game. Just take this opportunity.
Right, I think that's just Shlomo Amslam's way of telling us, guys, calm down. It's still a 5-1 game. We've been playing phenomenally for the first 2.5 periods. Just keep it in check. No more mistakes. Let's just keep this game going and bring this home for North Shore's first championship.
HAFTR looks a lot more confident here also. I mean, you just watch the way they're walking up and down the court. They're a lot, like before they had their heads down a little bit. But right now you can see they have a little bit of pep in their step. Maybe they'll be getting to the balls a little earlier to be able to take care of these opportunities that they're going to get.
Absolutely. Everybody stay tuned. After this, we'll do a little bit of the post game. And then, right now, the JV game scheduled to start at 1:30, Frisch and TABC. Don't know if that'll still be on time. Looking to potentially start our broadcast for that game around, I would say around 1 o'clock. We'll see how much time is on the clock. We get back to play here, 6:25. Newmark trying to chase the ball. The ball gets out. Got Toledano and Herskowitz fighting for it. Ball goes out into play into the North Shore bench. In about 18 seconds, or the first whistle past the next 18 seconds, we'll have the goalie switch, and the goalies will act on their natural side. Goldwyn and Newmark, the 217s. Goldwyn keeps the ball in the zone. Herskowitz sends the ball up and out, and Sender dropping back. Got Cohen and Gelman challenging him, but he's still able to get the ball out of the zone. HAFTR has to touch up on Herskowitz's reset. Ball gets sent in by Sender, hits off the back of the iron. Newmark sends it across his crease over to Gelman. Bouncing ball, gets it running way over to Cohen. Cohen shoots high, but gloved by Siegelman. 5:53 left, so the goalies will switch. Once again, you are listening to the Nachum Segal Network's presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship game. 1 second. The referees are going to switch. HAFTR will take the net to our right. North Shore the net to our left. Once again, our broadcast sponsored by Manischewitz. Thank you to the great people at Manischewitz for sponsoring this. Again, look for Manishewitz's new line of Kids Edition products in stores this coming Pesach.
HAFTR has an opportunity here with Gresh's off once again. For an extended period of time already to go and score a quick another goal here.
Gotta figure, if you're gonna do it, the time is now. You want to get it 5-2 when he's off, so that you have a little more momentum to be able to juice it when he's on. Newmark, Toledano, and Goldwyn. Again, keep doing that. Toledano's behind him. Newmark is right here. Newmark and Goldwyn are right here. That red helmet keeps throwing me off.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough with these more bright helmets,
Got the glare coming off of it. That looks like a Flatbush helmet. It's kind of purple, kind of maroon. It looks like something a Flatbush player would wear, or maybe even a Hartora player.
Yeah. I always like the idea of having the matching helmets coming through, like DRS does with their green helmets.
Well, not all of those are actually green when they get it. You see, most of those are actually spray painted green.
So that's the trick.
Newmark sends the ball and saved by Siegelman. Handcuffed him, but he got both blocker and glove to it. Ball's in front. Cohen, Gelman without a stick. Ball sent high and out of the zone. It's like Gelman broke his stick, gets back, it's New Lumber, tries to send the ball out. Goldman steps in front of it. Friedman sends the ball up. Cohen sends the ball across. Picked up by Greshus, going back the other way. Greshus beating Friedman to the ball. Greshus pulls around, tries to pull around to the forehand side. Gets the ball. Cohen down with Friedman to help him out. Greshus still holding on to the ball. Yeah, it does. It looks like Greshus is trying to really kill this game out on his own. Newmark moving up with the ball. Goldman sends the ball out. Looks as if HAFTR has finally pulled to that 3-1 that you've been discussing. They went away from it for the first half of this second half of the period, but it looks like they're back to it now. Newmark fires. Ball doesn't get past Greshus. Greshus turns around, sends the ball back, and paddled away by Krupp into the corner. Olener. Ball is in the bench. Nope, they say that it's in play. Olener coming around. Olener moving up, tries to send the ball in. Greshus again getting in front of the shot. Olener this time blocking the clear. Olener in the corner. Cohen comes out with it. Tries to come around the net. Gelman calling for it at the line. Tries to hit out of midair. Nice hand-eye coordination, but just cannot get the ball towards the net. Ball goes back into the HAFTR defensive zone. Newmark will send the ball across. Gelman coming across to get the ball. Cohen on the 2-on-1. Cohen sends the ball towards the net, misses. Gelman gets it in the corner, pressure by Silverman. And the ball will come out in front of us. Olener not able to keep the ball in, sends the ball across. Newmark lines up, and it's blocked by Greshus, but the ball comes back out of play. Sends the ball across. Olener sends it to Gelman. Gelman sends the ball back to Olener. Hounded by Goldman, gets through into the perimeter area, comes out of the zone. Newmark sends the ball across,
and it looks like the penalty kill is now over.
Sends the ball to Greshus, who gets a clear shot, hits the back of the backboard here. And if the ball hits any part of that center net, backboard, post, it's a whistle for being out of play. Same thing behind the other net.
So Elliot, what happens if it goes through the basketball hoop but doesn't hit anything?
You get 2 points. No, I'm kidding. It's the same thing. They'll call that because it may have hit off iron, and we got a timeout. Got a timeout by HAFTR with 3:39 left in this 5-1 game in the third period. Well, getting down to crunch time. Going to see what we have left to offer for HAFTR. North Shore players gathering in front of Coach Amslam. Shlomo Amslam in his first year, 3:39 away from taking his first championship.
Would he be the youngest coach to win a championship?
Yes, he would. Shlomo Amslam with a win this year. Shlomo graduated from Hank High School 2 years ago. Before that, he played at Hank as a 4-year player, and before that, got his start on the Hank Junior High team.
I heard he had a pretty good junior high coach.
Somewhere along the lines, he was taught decently well, I hope. Shlomo Amslam, the second of one of my players to be coaching in the Yeshiva League. The other one, actually the third. One of the other ones standing right next to me, that's Avi Don. The other one over at Westchester, Avi Nenner, for the Westchester varsity team. So,
does he also do the girls team there or no?
I don't know. That league is starting up over the next couple of days. I think it's already started up. Westchester has already played a couple of games. I have not gotten a chance to be out there to see them. I don't know if I will this season. Kind of a long drive for me.
Yeah.
How about you? You want to go out to any Westchester games?
I'd love to ref a game out there.
You just want to ref a game.
Yeah.
I'd love to get back into reffing games. Wallach. Ezra Wallach. Name sounds familiar. It's because it is. Ezra Wallach, son of our general station manager, Miriam Wallach. One of several connections to the Nachum Siegel network in this league. Wallach, Gerbich getting his first time on the floor.
I was watching Wallach during the pre-game shoot-around. He has a pretty good slap shot, so they got to be aware of that. Wallach
coming out, the old school hockey shin guards, has his sitzes on, proper yid. Good job, Ezra. Your mother will be very proud. Mother's in Israel now with the big man, Nachum Siegel. 3:13 left to go in the third period. Gelman comes in, tries to get the ball out, kept in front of us by Hutt. Poldano and Hutt fighting from North Shore. Wallach and Gelman. Sender sends the ball. Newmark picking the ball up, coming up into the zone. Ball is deflected off Sender and out of play. 2:56 left in the third period. As a coach for John Glaubach, is this a time where you just try to get everybody in, sensing it's a 5-1 game?
I'd probably try to press a little bit more here. Maybe add a couple of more third-line guys in, whatever it is. But I would still be trying to press here. Because, again, this is hockey. You can still come back here.
Alan Vashovsky, pumped to get into the game. Alan Vashovsky, the manager and a defenseman on this team. Vashovsky puts the ball into the zone. Olener touching it for offsides. 2:50 left. Greshus sends the ball cross court. Newmark and Senderowitz. Senderowitz seeing his time on the floor. Senderowitz, a 6th grader. Ball gets sent through the middle. Hit off a leg.
Gresh's stick goes flying.
Olener fighting down low with Sender. Precious Sender playing the majority of this game, except for the times they were in the box for the most part. Maybe one or two. Oh, and it hit off Newmark and almost went in. Precious trying to bring it on the floor. What a keep by Gelman. Nice use of the foot. Precious gets it out anyway. Sends the ball through to the middle. Finds nobody but Vashovsky. Olener trying to move up with the ball. Olener pulls back around. Vashovsky got to watch out before he gets a penalty. Olener tries to send the ball up. Sender jumps in front and clears the ball out. Newmark backing up. Lines up. Ball's kept on Greshus. Greshus tries to shoot. Does not get it. Vashovsky moving up with the ball. Vashovsky tries to send the ball across. Nobody home. Ball tries to clear out. Olener. Greshus trying to jump in front. Doesn't quite get it. Gelman keeping the ball in on a hut attempt. Sender backhands it. Up to Greshus. Greshus clears it off the boards. Greshus comes around. Pulls. Tries to backhand it through. And the ball goes into the corner.
Another point to know about North Shore is they've been blocking shots all over the place. It's really hard to get opportunities when the opposing team just blocks everything.
You love to see the grittiness. It's a championship game. If you're not willing to put your body in front of the ball in a game like this, you're not willing to put your stick in front of the ball, what are you going to?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to put everything out right here. This is the last game of the season. A lot of you guys are 8th graders. You don't know where you're going to be playing, if you're going to be playing next year. This is really your time to just put everything out on the line.
We see Frankel and Schwartz getting their first moments on the floor as well for HAFTR. Gladbach going to the bench. Kurlander and Friedman will be on with them. Same thing for Amsterdam. Soleimani coming on the floor for the first time, and Scher as well. Goldwyn. Ball sent out. Sender sends the ball back into the zone. Gloved by Krupp. Up and into the HAFTR bench. 1:20 left to go. Third period. Again, stay tuned for our post-game show following the conclusion of this game. Then, a few minutes thereafter, we'll begin the pregame ceremonies for the JV and the varsity championships. Following right here on the Nachum Segal Network. Sponsored by Manischewitz. Thanks again for joining us for the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Championship game between HAFTR and North Shore. North Shore up 5-1. About 1 minute left in the third period of play. Friedman pulling back, going behind the net. All but academic at this point. North Shore looking to get its first Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High League Championship. For a while, North Shore was really at the bottom of the standings. They were the team you could look to get an easy win. After that 2011 season, they sort of started taking on steam. That 2011 season, the team went to the finals against Taub, lost 6-3. Charles Greshus' older brother, Bailey, was a captain on that team. And now we see the fruition, the fulfillment. As Judah Trorig hits the floor for HAFTR with 11 seconds left in the game. 6 seconds left. Congratulations to the North Shore Stars. Whoop, 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds. Hits off the backboard. North Shore players celebrating already. And that's going to end the game. Congratulations to the North Shore Stars, the 2016-2017 Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League champions. A 5-1 defeat of HAFTR. What can you say about this other than they took it to them hard, they took it to them early?
They never really took their foot off the pedal there. They just kept going and going and going. Even with 10 seconds left, you see Greshus going into the corners, getting the ball. And it's just constant aggressiveness, and that's really what's taken them through the season. Is their skill, but their never-ending aggressiveness.
Well, congratulations again. Shlomo Amsterdam leading his team to an undefeated season. Going to be a question of when we can see these two teams in a championship again. As we said, majority of these two teams graduating their main rosters. Most of the guys for North Shore have been on there for the last 2 years between the lows and the highs. And this is what they get out of it. You work hard, you get yourself a Yeshiva League championship.
Absolutely, and this is a great experience for a lot of the HAFTR players here. They're going to have an opportunity to be back here in the future. They have some young 6th graders who could really take advantage of the opportunity. You know, in Krupp, you got Cohen, so they should definitely still keep their heads up and look forward.
And what can we say about the game by North Shore's top line? The eighth grade line really pulling out the stops. Sender on defense. But of course, the two monsters on offense. You had Goldman with the 3 goals. You had Grecius with a goal. What can you say about that line? Other than just they were fantastic today.
They've not stopped this entire season. They have been scoring every single game.
And they give the MVP to Grecius. Grecius, 1 goal, 4 assists. Sorry, 1 goal, 3 assists. Apologies. Grecius showing his dominance with that great goal.
Yeah, it was a wild goal there.
Highlight reel goal. And now North Shore. North Shore will gather around for a group picture. They have a lot to be proud of. The school, congratulations to the school. Congratulations to HAFTR on a very hard-fought championship. Not pulling it out this time, but you know what? Kids got a great experience last year when we were here. Didn't come out on the winning end, but you know what? Kids had fun. They walked away smiling. That's what this is all about. That's what this league is all about.
Most definitely. Look, I've been on the other side of this, where I've been in HAFTR situation. I was in middle school. I lost 2 championships. It's tough, you know, but you know what? You have a good time during the game, and that's what's important.
But congratulations again to North Shore. A great job again. Adam Goldman, the natural hat trick to start out the game. 1 in the first period, 2 in the second to open the second period. Grecius scoring a couple of seconds later to make it 4-0. Third period, Sender adding a power play goal. Newmark getting HAFTR on the board too little too late with a power play goal. 5-1 your final. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship game. Avidan, before you go, any quick words?
No, you know what? This is a hard-fought game. It was very enjoyable to watch. Both teams should be very proud.
All right, thank you so much, Avidan, for joining us. Thank you to our guys on the tech staff. Thank you to Josh Lewis. Thank you to Effie over there. Guys, appreciate all your help. Great job. Production looks amazing. You guys, fantastic. Look forward to see what we can do with the JV and varsity. We'll get to that very soon. Thank you to our statistician, Jacob Schwartzman. And thank you to the Metropolitan Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League for allowing us to put on this production. Thank you to our sponsor, Manischewitz. Again, Pesach coming up. Look on the shelves for Manischewitz's great line, including, as we said, their new Kids Edition line. Looks to be a fantastic Pesach. Don't mean to give people heart attacks when cleaning up for the big holiday. Stay tuned to our homepage, NachumSegal.com. Just a few minutes we'll begin our coverage with the MYJHHL JV and Varsity Championships presented by Manischewitz. I will be on the air with David Kolb, Yeshiva League coaching legend. For all of us here at Lawrence Middle School, congrats to the 2016-2017 MYJHHL champions, the North Shore Stars. Have a great afternoon, everyone.